2025 was one of the worst years of my life. I was consumed with greed and arrogance. I fell into addiction. I got into an accident which I could have died in. After the accident, there was a period of time where I didn't feel real. I mean, I knew I was alive, but Joseph wasn't in control, and I wasn't him. Everything I did was automatic. I had no feelings, no emotions, no reactions. At the peak of my addiction, I was trying everything I could possibly get my hands on. From uppers and downers to psychedelics, it wasn't about having fun anymore. It was about not facing reality. I didn't want to be in control. I didn't want to be here. One evening, I decided to drop acid. I remember putting the gel tab under my tongue and letting it do its thing.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
I ended up knocking out a couple hours later, and when I woke up, I was on a full trip. My body was on fire. I was going in and out of cutscenes like I was in a movie trailer. And one of them, I was driving down I-10 with a friend whom I just met through another friend. All I can remember is how the truck flipped and we ended up on a ditch. The truck landed upside down and I saw myself in a third-person point of view. That moment felt so real and so intense, but I didn't have enough time to process it. Cutscene after cutscene of the most intense hallucinations. And when I thought I had finally snapped out of it and I opened up my eyes, everything around me was on fire. All my house was just embedded in flames, and I was burning with it. But I thought, because I was so fried off the acid, and I'd just been sitting here in the middle of a fire, all my nervous system was just burned, and I couldn't feel a thing. I sat there burning and rethinking everything from the months before, everything that has led up to that very moment. The next morning after waking up, I went outside to get some fresh air. I felt like I had just woken up after decades of sleeping in a cryogenic pod. I still didn't feel like myself. I never did after the accident. But I also didn't feel out of control. In fact, I felt like all of a sudden, everything that I had been suppressing for the last couple months was nothing, or it wasn't as big of a problem as I made myself think. I can't forget that morning, seeing the sun slowly rise after being gone the whole night. And what felt like an eternity throughout the acid trip was almost like a visual representation of what that whole year was like. I saw this as a sign and an opportunity to be someone different, to rise after being in darkness. Not a restart, but a retry. Although this sounds like a good thing, I quickly realized how much of me was actually gone. From the smallest thing to like my sense of style, to the more core values, everything had to change, or more so to be learned again. My name still feels wrong to me. I don't feel like him, I don't relate to him. He was more of an old acquaintance that has been absent for a while now. And although I'll always keep him in mind, I can't recall the last time I was with him.